Hello and welcome. So today's video is going to be about Alfonso XIII of Spain's wedding and how it turned into a bloodbath. So Alfonso XIII of Spain was born on the 17th of May 1886. He was King of Spain from birth as his father had died 6 months earlier. On the 31st of May 1906 he married Princess Victoria Eugenie of Battenberg, who was a granddaughter of Queen Victoria of Great Britain. They had met at a state banquet that was being put on by Princess Victoria's uncle, King Edward VII of Great Britain. Alfonso had spotted Victoria from across the room and had begun asking people who this lovely lady was. So Alfonso proposed to Victoria, treaties were signed and the wedding date was set. So on the morning of the 31st of May 1906, Alfonso and Victoria had breakfast together at the Palace of El Pardo. After breakfast, Alfonso went to the Palace of Madrid to get ready, while Princess Victoria went to the Ministry of the Navy to do the same. At 9 o'clock, Alfonso left the palace to make his way to the church for the wedding. Victoria left the place where she was getting ready half an hour late, as the Prime Minister was late in picking her up. Now, there's an estimated 400,000 people who turned up on the streets of Madrid to celebrate the wedding. But their wedding was not all happy and light, because there was a threat of an attack. Because of this, the press were not allowed into the church for the ceremony, and the people who had gathered to watch the processions to and from the church were not allowed to throw flowers for the royal couple. So the wedding ceremony was at the church of St. Jerome the Royal, and it did go really well. But on the procession back to the palace, disaster struck. As the royal party passed number 8 on Calle Mayor, the anarchist Mateo Morral threw a bomb that was disguised in a bouquet of flowers at the royal coach. His aim was to try and kill the king and queen and try and start some sort of revolution or riot. But the bomb actually failed to kill the king or queen, and it didn't even injure them. But 24 other people did die from the attack. These were royal guards and bystanders who had just turned up to wish the royal couple good luck, and many others were injured. The bomb had actually failed to hit the royal carriage because the bomb had actually failed to hit the carriage that Alfonso and Victoria were riding in, because it had collided with the tram cables above it. The king and queen swapped their carriages and they went back to the royal palace, where they appeared on the balcony to cheers from the crowd. Victoria actually appeared on the balcony still in her wedding dress that was stained with blood. So the wedding reception and the banquet to celebrate the marriage was cancelled as a sign of mourning, and the ball that was being held the next day to celebrate the marriage was changed, and the ball that was being held the next day to celebrate the marriage was changed to a ceremony for the memory of the people that had died in the attack. Representatives of the king and queen attended the funeral of those who had died in the attack, and a monument was erected to remember them. So Morral managed to escape from the scene, and he went to Republican journalist José Nakens for help. When he entered José's print shop, Morral introduced himself as the assassin. Now José was hesitant to agree to help Morral, but he did in the end, and he let Morral stay in his print shop while he went and found some accommodation for Morral to stay in overnight. But Morral was actually really distrustful of the place that José had managed to find for him to stay, so he left at some point during the night. Morral travelled to Torrón de Ardoz, but the locals there reported him to the authorities in Madrid when they realised who he was. Morral was found at a train station, and when the police tried to arrest him, he ended up shooting one of them and then killing himself. So that's the story about the wedding of Alfonso XIII of Spain and his wife Victoria. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.